Hi, everybody. This is my breakfast. So, hi, everybody. Hi, Lawrence. Just wait for a little bit. Let me see. So today, anybody have any questions? Please let me know if you have questions want to ask me. Today, I'd like to share with you something. Something nobody ever have done before. It is a part of my book, the Wing Chun, the Kung Fu 1560. Okay, it's a part of the book Kung Fu 1560. So, at 1560s, if we read the General Qi Ji Guang's classic, well, you all can go read the General Qi Ji Guang classic, right? Now, there are 4 things which is mentioned in the General Qi Ji Guang classic. And I'd like to share with you how it is in drawing. So you know, at 1560, the Kung Fu of General Qi Ji Guang and what their art at that time have. So this is just a small part of the Kung Fu 1560. So this is right at the beginning of the General Qi Ji Guang classic. He mentioned this. I just draw it out here with Chinese martial arts techniques or momentum, so that everybody can see what it is. So it is not what people think today. And momentum is big deal. Heaven knows why the world is in past 100 years. Momentum. The handling of momentum, physics, momentum, like your inputs, your momentum, turn into posture, stance, structure. Heaven knows why the world that happened. And when the momentum, the ancient Chinese, like General Qi Ji Guang and all general, talk about momentum, the capability of handling different type of momentum for fighting or armed combat turn into posture. Today, everybody translate the Qi Guang 32 momentum type as posture. And combination, like if we go boxing, doing Western boxing, we have combinations. That combination turn into sets, form, cigarette form. And so that's why it is a mess now. So imagine, so there's another plot there. Imagine you go to 1560 and you meet General Qi Guang's army, okay, who know long fist, short strike, and going down to the ground. He's going to fight this way. Okay, to the minimum, he's going to fight this way. Long fist, short strike. This is for takedown and throw, and this is for groundwork. Okay. Of course, the groundwork is not like today's BJJ and so forth, but they have their style of groundwork, ground fighting. So they can go up and down, close and far away, angle. So they play with distance, angle, and level. Imagine we go back to 1560s. You face this type of army from Qi Guang. Okay? And all whatever I show you just now is using Chinese Kung Fu. Okay, not Western boxing like Santa and all everything. You look at this. For example, you know, you look at this type of, this is a chop down. This is a sweep. You look at all this stuff, it's like in Choi Lei fight, right? It's not Western boxing. It's not Santa, the creations of today. So there is 1560s. They play with the generations and handling of impulse momentum. They have all those long fist, short strike, and ground. And that's what was described in the General Qi Guang Classic. The top and the bottom, they have a complete or comprehensive system. That's what it is. What did he mean? By evidence, okay, not by Hendrik say. So you look at today, what are you doing? Kung Fu or dance? Or some kind of mysterious stuff. So if you transport those General Qi Guang's army to today, remember, those guy is not trained for fighting in the match, in the ring. Those things, as I share a paragraph which I translate in my yesterday's under the comment of my yesterday's video, the content of 1560s book. You read it. Let's go for life. Okay. So what the heck is going on here? Now, let me share with you one thing. One of the very respectable and the top grandmaster of Choi Lei Fat in our era, right now, okay, in our era, has started a few days ago again to ask for standardizations of Chinese martial arts. While he is in military, this is a Grandmaster Chan Ganfai. He's in military. His grand student is fighting the competitions in China, as you can see. Okay. So he is one of the very top grandmaster in Chile Fat today. He is asking for standardization, traditional Chinese martial art practitioner group together, helping each other and respect each other, and just make a standard so that be able to continue on traditional Chinese martial arts. Okay, so he put in his Facebook for that. In fact, start 2015, he already starting this movement. Standardizations. Not everybody up for themselves to go wherever, doing whatever crazy stuff they want. So for me, the reason the book 1560, Kung Fu 1560, is to let us in the West know what exactly happened and stop playing expert or researcher and just you translate all the classic like General Qi Ji Guang classic while one have no idea what it is, but words. Okay. So it is an urgent now. Since he is my senior, and I study Chile Fat from Grandmaster Sam Gan Fai too, because I study everything, right? I study Wing Chun, I study Chile Fat, I study Kyokushin, I study Judo. I need to study all this. Or else, how can I tell you what the heck is going on? So I support him, and it must be done now, or else we are cheating ourselves, we are lying ourselves. Why do we want to spend and wasting our life, get nothing out of what we invest in? Why? Is there any reason? Of course there's no reason, right? You must not do that. If we do that and then we continues on to the second generation teaching the student what we don't know, that's the problem. So for me, if we like Western boxing, we go study with a Western boxing coach. There's no such thing as the what they call it. One guy only have to study one style. One guy can study many styles. However, one need to really learn the art. So for example, Wing Chun 1850. Today, I like to share with you a standard. And this standard is for everybody, okay? There are many people around the world who train with me, and they have this standard, disregard where they are, okay? When everybody of them meet together, they have the same standard. Even somebody might have a better skill than other and so forth, but they will have the same basic standard quality. So Wing Chun 1850, the first standard quality is the 6 core element. I have wrote everything you need to know in details in this book. And this is not only for Wing Chun, okay? Even though I'm using it for Wing Chun of 1850s standard, okay? So the Wing Chun standard for 1850s Wing Chun. This 6 core element is the basic of all traditional Chinese martial arts. Without knowing that, there's one really couldn't put together what it is. So for the 1850s Wing Chun standard number 1 is need to be able to experience the 6 core elements. Okay? Without experience, of that, forget about it. Don't just talk and using empty words. As today, as I always share that in the Qi Ji Guang Classic, everybody talk empty words and have no clue on what is Qi Ji Guang's writing is about. You don't do that, okay? That's why I write book purposely to put into the details. Nobody can get away, okay, on bullshitting. It doesn't matter even if it's my son or my grandson. If they don't know, they don't know, period, okay? So that's the standard. If we don't know the 6 core element, what are we going to do? We don't even know. Like you want to study English, if I don't know the alphabet, how the world I'm going to study English? Okay, so that's number one. The second thing is, if you want to practice in martial arts, one need to be able to breathe. Okay? So the 2C state. The 2C state I wrote in details and how to get there, the process in Wing Chun Matrix. That is the standard. Without 2C state, forget about it. One couldn't even breathe. Many people here today, they have gone through that to develop the 2C state. Just ask around. How is it different between people who have 2C state and without 2C state? Okay? So there's another standard. The third is the momentum, the basic momentum handling, the functional training. The functional training of momentum handling, the basic of it in restricting Wing Chun. Everything is right down here in details. You don't need a rocket scientist. You just follow instruction, you will get it. Okay? And like for example, the pivoting, your leg and everything is described here. That is the third standard. Without that, forget about martial arts. You don't have even the very basic. Anybody want to do internal art? They need to be able to nurture qi. To nurture qi, as in Wing Chun Inception. Every details is here. And scientific verification is there. Okay? This is very basic. And you can use the Red Boat training band, the vertical jump, to test it out, to check ourselves, to monitor ourselves. That is the very basic of Wing Chun 1850. I do not set this standard. This is the standard in that concrete or writing of 1850 Xiu Lim Tao. If you don't know this thing, what I'm talking about, you have no handle with it. You cannot make any sense out of that 1850 Xiu Lim Tao writing. And thus, you will never be able to develop anything. You can play the set like a posture, a dance. Choreography like a dance. Xiu Lim Tao is not choreography to be a dance. Whatever I just shared with you, the basic standard there has to be there. Or else, just face it, we don't have anything. We couldn't even walk, we couldn't even breathe. We couldn't even recover. What good is that? So that's what I like to, share with you on this standard stuff. Let's not get into really far away in the galaxy like Star Wars. Let's get the basic that if you have all the 6 core elements, the 2C, the momentum handling, the nurture qi, guess what? You're going to use it every day, especially even when you get older age. One of the founder of a very famous high-tech company, okay, the founder, the president of the corporations, and the CEO. Right now, he have already retired, and he learned all this. And he have fun of it. He said, well, Hendrik, I train this every day. I get better sleep. I walk better. And with our age, I can move better. And when I sleep, I can handle myself better. So it is beneficial. Of course, I'm not going to fight anybody, but I can handle my body, my momentum. So it has to be like that to the minimum. Otherwise, what are we doing? And of course, you got a CEO in the Silicon Valley. He's not going to go fight anybody. He'll just get his bodyguard, okay? However, what benefit him from this thing is not other people can do for him, right? To get a better body, better handling of the body. And that is the value of traditional Chinese martial art. One part of the traditional Chinese martial art, really important part of it. Okay? So just don't think fighting. Okay? One need to really get something for our own life. Living is much more than fighting in today's world. Okay. So here, Chris say, yes, I try to imagine how they train every day. Chris, you don't have to imagine. When you read, if you decide to get the 1560 Kung Fu, when you read that book, you know they are pro, okay? And of course, they are paid for doing those things, right? They are army, like the today's special force. So we want to know what they are doing, what they're capable of. Left Kung Fu Shaolin, modern living has made people lazy. It's taken less serious this day. Live Kung Fu, yes. However, another thing is about education too, in my humble opinion. Any Sifu, if they don't set a standard, a good standard for their student is going to do whatever their Sifu does. Like General Qi Guang in his classical, he said directly, you can go sparring, and you must go sparring. You must have to go sparring. But you must not get into those, I'm better than you, my father beating your daddy, those kind of nonsense. You sparring, you find out what happened. You don't sparring to say, well, tomorrow I go tell the newspaper that I'm better fighter than you. Those kind of stuff. And then, of course, like I'm sharing the Red Bull training band. How many really do it? If you read my the comment on on my YouTube, you can often see that many friends who use the Red Bull training band, and instantaneously they got result. They understand what is going on. So if one couldn't even have the mentality of not getting trapped in this mind, there will no Kung Fu there. So Lawrence say, do you think Wing Chun should compete more? I think it doesn't have ability these days unless you learn it well with momentum as its core. Lawrence, the bottom line is this. I often ask people, do you know how to breathe? Do you know how to do vertical jump? If we couldn't even do breathing and vertical jump. We don't really have anything. Not to mention, hop into the Red Bull training band to see how they handle the body. Until one have those things, what good is sparring? So the sparring is needed. Sure. You look at 460 years ago, the writing of General Qi Ji Guang, he tell you, go try it out. Experiment with it. It is a must. Otherwise, what are we doing? And for this competition, competition is good. But competition is about learning the art. Not go out there and saying, oh no, I want to win. What is the point to thinking, keeping thinking, I want to win, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So for me, follow General Qi Ji Guang, that's the standard. So again, 1560s Kung Fu, the book, is a standard of Ming Dynasty. Why? Because that's what General Qi Ji Guang taught or trained his army for life and death, not sport, okay? So that's what it is, right? So you need to have all this, like I just now I mentioned the standard and everything. Just ask everybody, do you know, this today is very simple. When you turn, do you pivot with your ball of the feet or the heel of the feet? You can see many people debate on when they do this set, that set. Mostly I heard about is when you do Cham Kyu set, when you turn, do you turn with the ball of the feet, the K1 or Yong Chen of the feet, or the heel of the feet? Why everybody argue? Everybody have the what do you call it? The reason. But what I have never seen is, as in restricting Wing Chun, the area you pivot on your leg actually have a technical significance in handling your momentum. How is the angle? How much degree can this turn in this type of pivot? Those stuff. When you go high speed, which part of your body should be used, or which part of your feet should be used for turning? It is not my philosophy. I think my Sifu said that. Forget about it, okay? The entire thing since ancient, the Shaolin sword strike time, it have its definition. One second. So there are many technical definitions there. And we need to know those technical definitions so we can handle the thing. It's like when we drive, like you want to put into the first gear or second gear or third gear. That is a technical, how to say that, technical meaning behind it. It's not just, well, I'm going to drive with a first gear. I'm going to drive with the second gear. It's not. It has its technical meaning. Left Kung Fu. Still some good teacher out there too. The art stand up to scrutiny if used properly. Left Kung Fu, this is a problem. This is the problem. Define what is good. Define what is good. You go practice Western boxing. They have their standard. You go practice MMA, they have their standard. Today, if you say good teacher, what is the standard? Is that standard by General Qi Ji Guang? Or whose standard? So I'm not buying into this quote unquote in English the modifier good, because good need to be defined. If good not defined, it is a disaster. So as just now I just defined to you, 6 core element, 2C, momentum, handling, nurture qi. It has its technical meaning and be able to verify scientifically, like with this or with all the gadget I have shown you before. You know, like using the my toy, as my wife told me, my ISO chain. Okay, and all this the spot used for train for accelerations. Without this, how are we going to know what are we talking about? So that is how I look at it. And of course, you know, some friend told me, well, Hendrik, you are just weird because you are just a damn design engineer. So you get into this detail. My answer to everybody is that, do you want quality? Do you want to spend the minimum effort to get the highest quality? If you like that, you need to have a standard, or else you can train 10 people and including the teacher have no idea what it is. Let me share with you a saying in Zen. Okay, this is real Chinese Zen. Okay, in the Chinese Zen, there's a saying. It says that in Mandarin, 懵懂传懵懂，一传两不懂，师父下地狱，弟子那里拱。It said that the idiot teaching the idiot. Okay, 懵懂传懵懂 is idiot teaching idiot. Okay, 一传两不懂。One who is teaching, but both is clueless. Both of them are clueless. 师父下地狱。The student fall to the hell. Okay, so 师父下地, sorry, it's the teacher. The teacher fall down to the hell. 弟子那里拱, where do you think the student will be? So it said that idiot teaching idiot. One is act like a teacher to teach, but both have no idea what it is clueless. The teacher go down to the hell, fall to the hell. Where do you think the student will end up to be? There's a Zen saying, okay, I didn't make this up, okay? So when I study Zen, again, I have to go to get a teacher, a real Zen monk teacher, a strict one to learn, right? So this is one of the things he said. Why? Not everybody can be Sifu. One need to have up to that standard before one can teach. This is the reason why of the saying, of the Chinese Zen saying. But you look at today's Zen, well, everybody is Zen. Everybody is this Zen grandmaster. What is it? So Zen and today's traditional Chinese martial art, same thing. It has become the clueless teaching the clueless, the idiot teaching the idiot. Okay? That's the reality. So we need to define things. Okay, Lawrence say everyone practice Kung Fu should have your books. Not necessary. Not necessary. See, you need to be careful. As in the book 1560 Kung Fu. If you read carefully what General Qi Ji Guang said, General Qi Ji Guang said in the classic, he make that thing to inspire, to enlighten the newcomer. He didn't say that you have to follow my way, 100% rigid. General Qi Ji Guang didn't say that. He said that this is for inspiring the new beginner. So the same thing, okay? Somebody tomorrow might write a better book than me. Like if you want to study Choi Lei Fat, go to study with Grandmaster Chan Gan Fai. I am clueless on Choi Lei Fat. Okay, so go study from him. My book cannot do much. Okay, so you say that, okay, the 6 core element is the basic of all traditional Chinese martial arts. Well, this is the basic common knowledge. But when you get into the Choi Lei Fat, the way how you execute the momentum handling, you need Sifu like Grandmaster Chan Gan Fai. So hopefully, you know, I answer your question with this one. You buy the book only if it is helpful. You don't buy the book because of my name or my advertisement. Look into the content. Today in the Amazon, you always can type, you know, you just have a preview on all books. Look at it and see if it fit you. If not, why spend your money? Okay, so I want to make sure that is the bottom line. Chris said that, yes, I'm 42 now. I agree. Sleep is better. Calmness, awareness is better. Many benefit. I'm grateful every day. Yeah, that's good, Chris. Actually, this is the important thing. We have to live. If we can live better, we cannot feed the family, we cannot have a good life. What is the purpose? If we cannot help our body to be healthy and so forth, what is the purpose? So the bottom line is us, our living. And to share all of this thing to you, I have a responsibility to share on the proper mentality, as why I keep saying about General Qi Ji Guang, you know, how he taught his student, when you go sparring, just think you are investigating techniques. You can make friends from everybody. The minute you say, I'm better than you, you separate yourself from everybody. The minute you go tell the entire world, I'm better fighter than you, or I'm the king of fighting or anything, you know it's a dead end already. Okay? So martial art in ancient China is not what the Kung Fu movie present today. One other thing too. Wing Chun never is based on hate. Somebody said Wing Chun is based on hate. You need to hate people and everything. No, General Qi Ji Guang doesn't say that. Look at General Qi Ji Guang is the top, like today's special force commander. You have to be cool. You need to have a cold-minded, a sharp-minded. If you get emotion, you can walk into trap. If you get emotion, the common people can get killed. So martial art do not mix with emotion. Okay, if you look into General Qi Guang's real life example, walk his talk. Okay, his army walk his talk. You look into the Shaolin. Shaolin is based on Buddhism. As I share from you here in the Restricting Wing Chun, from my teacher here. So what we need to have the mentality is kindness, compassionate, joy, and equanimity. That's the teaching of my Zen teacher. And then if you look at Shaolin Classic, it says specifically, one must not have hatred in the practice of Shaolin martial arts. These are all emotion, unhealthy emotion. Say, for example, in the restaurant, if you say something bad to me and I treat you with compassionate, empathy, well, maybe you have a bad day. Okay, no problem, I walk away. And both can minimize the problem. If when people say something unintentionally or get mad or out of control and you go down there like a hatred, you want to prove yourself, you get emotion, we are creating even problem which is not need to be creating. Who don't have a bad day? Even us quarrel with our spouse, our parents, right? So if we don't have that basic handling or understanding of emotion, and of course we are human, we have emotion, right? When our body feels bad, we get emotion. When we are sick, we get emotion fast because the nervous system and so forth, it just get our mind out of handling. So if we have this 4 equanimity type of mind, we always want to keep ourselves cold, and when we know we are having problem, we walk away. And of course, like nurture qi, you guys study nurture qi in the Wing Chun Inception book. You go do nurture qi right away, or when you sleep in the middle of the night, when you wake up, you can't sleep, all this piece of thought come out, you do nurture qi. That's how we handle our body. Not that we force it, but we just tame, we lead our body to relax our body and mind. And in daily, if you have the mentality of compassion, equanimity, kindness, like to share, you don't look at everybody like your enemy. And thus, we have feeling, right? And it's two-way street. If you treat me well, I can feel it, right? So if we do that, there's a lot of problem can be solved. So back to General Qi Guang's as the chief of commander, no emotion. And if you read Sun Tzu, The Art of War, you get emotion, you are giving your hot button to your opponent. Okay? So that is very important thing. We screw up our life if we get emotion. And sometimes it is not just thinking or mind, it is our body. When our body is, getting in the hurry mode or worry mode, it is influencing our thinking, and then get emotion, and then we blow up, and then at work we screw up things and so forth. And we just human, okay? So we need to have learn all these tools, the skill to handle ourselves. Us is more problem than whatever outside there, okay? So that's what what my opinion is. Okay, Lawrence, in Restricting Wing Chun, in the footwork, page 54, I find it hard to do the leg cross before moving to the opponent back. Okay, 54, let me check, okay? This one, right? You know why? Let me tell you why. Go practice everything in the chapter of momentum, in the chapter 5. Go practice that, and then whatever you practice there, okay, of course chapter 5 is including many things. Your pivoting, your angling, forwarding and backward. After doing that, you test out the vertical jump and the red bolt training band. Only after that, you go to page 54. So the tool is there, okay? Chapter 5 is very important. However, if you do not have chapter 5, you do not play with it, you don't know how to handle your body, you will not be able to do 54. So Lawrence, hope that I solved this for you, okay? Lawrence say, my boxing coach taught me to pivot on my toe, but sometimes to pivot from my heel to toe to pivot more. Well, as in again chapter 5. One need to experiment with this, because if you're telling me to pivot on my toe, or if I tell you to pivot on your toe or your heel, okay, that just what I'm saying. The issue is here is your pivot and your entire momentum is one piece. Without knowing what type of momentum I need to generate and handle, there's no way I know where to pivot. And all this pivoting, that's why in chapter 5, you need to have a basic handling there. So you know your body. So when you generate those type of momentum, you'll be able to adjust your pivot area. Okay? So you need to look at it really clearly, meaning that you have to know, aware of your body and what you're doing. So that is the bottom line on all this pivot stuff. Okay, so that's again go back to all this basic in the beginning of today's. I tell everybody we need to have a basic training. Without develop the basic training, we really don't know what we are doing. And that's why, again, I never want to teach people this hand technique, this hand technique, this hand techniques. What hand techniques? I like to share with people, get the body handling and the footwork, the momentum and so forth, and the breathing solid. That is the number one thing. The rest come easy. Okay? If this body is handled. So hope that solved the issue for you, Lawrence. Okay. Lawrence asking, what do you think of the Eightfold Path? A lot talk about it, but don't understand correct breathing or correct thinking. They think it is philosophy. Lawrence, Buddhism today turned into heaven know what the heck it is. Okay. If for Buddhism, number one, you want to practice is the sila precepts. Precepts meaning that once you become a Buddhist, you practice precepts. So whatever you're not supposed to do, you don't do. That's to guide you. The second thing one must practice is the anapanasati. Okay, so anapanasati, the really basic of anapanasati is in the book Wing Chun Inception. That's the nurture chi. So if we practice that, our body can settle down. And when the body be able to settle down, we can think clearly. We can aware if that is not the good time for us to think. We are too tired or we are sick. So we need to go to a place to rest and to keep for ourselves. Eightfold Path is for the people after who have the skill, have a really good handling of one's physiological state. Or else, it is just words. It is meaningless. Say, for example, really simple one. If you have done with the nurture chi, you know how to do it. And I tell you, oh, just go relax. Because you have the skill of the nurture chi, you just go doing relax. You get into the physiological state. And even if you want to check it with this, your heart rate going down, your SpO2 going up, you relax there. Now, if you don't have that, you just heard I'm saying that, go relax. The so-called go relax in your mind will be only a thinking. It have no relation to a state which is relaxed. So that is the problem. So Buddhism, the real Buddhism is like that. You need to have the practice before you can take instruction. And the deeper your samadhi, the more the teaching of the Buddha making a lot of sense. And that get one into even deeper samadhi. And that's what we call wisdom. Wisdom is not philosophy. Wisdom is the capability to have a stable physiological state and a clear mind. That's wisdom. Wisdom is not Buddha's philosophy, the Eightfold Path philosophy. It's not. When we get peace, if we do not have the samadhi or the stillness or the calm down, we can every day speak of the Eightfold Path, or somebody can tell you Eightfold Path there, but your body, you just get emotion, you still blow up, right? So that is the reality of Buddhism. But today's, I really don't know what Buddhism is. So hope that this solve your issue or let you know more about Buddhism. Left Kung Fu, Shaolin. The purpose of Kung Fu is to seek enlightenment. Wing Chun remind me of the world of growth, roots and branch always in springtime. Number one, Left, this is the problem, which is always mentioned. Whatever I say here in this channel, I have to base on evidence, not just my opinion. Here you are giving your opinion. Of course, everybody is free to have their opinion in the democratic world. However, the purpose of Kung Fu is not to seek enlightenment. It is never is. The purpose of Kung Fu is to learn the martial arts, to strengthen the body, so be able to defend the person, the family, and the country. That's what it is. Okay? Wing Chun remind me of words for growth. It is root and branches always in springtime. Those are just poetic, what do you call it? Speculations, your opinion. And so thus both of those, number one, Kung Fu is to seek enlightenment. There's a misleading. The second, Wing Chun remind me of this. Well, that's not what Wing Chun means, right? If it is, show me the evidence. So you might thinking I'm really bad here talking that this way. Let me share with you one thing. In 2000, year 2000, which is 21 years ago, I was in Fremont in my corporate. At the time, I am the worldwide design director. So the CEO is visit. CEO is from East Coast, visiting our company. So the CEO is young, is new to the place too. The CEO asked me, Hendrik, can you tell me which exit the CEO has to take so that it come to this place right away? Can you tell me which exit in the highway, like exit 235, exit 237, those kind of thing, so that the CEO can go to our office fluently, straightforward, surely? And I say, I believe taking Route 28, something like that, will get into our office. The CEO asked me, is that your belief or it is facts? Remember, this is the CEO, okay? We need his support. If we screw that up, we couldn't even give a proper direction, then we are in trouble. Martial arts is about life and death if it is in Qi Ji Guang time. Martial art is about health. Martial art is not entertainment like today's sports, like you hit me, I can compete with you, all those kind of stuff, which is extra than the daily living. Those are entertainment. Those are extra. You don't need it, there's no problem, right? Those type of martial arts. So the same thing as what the CEO said. This COO tell me, are you sure? Is that your belief, your speculation, your opinion? Or this is the direction to come to the office? If we don't give directions for proper thing, or giving direction on thing we even don't know, we are create problem. We are misleading other people. So this is the reason why I always get really, really serious when it become like that. So hopefully this share my view on this thing. So left Kung Fu, is the pivot more centered toward the arc of the foot? Well, you see, this is exactly the issue. What is the pivot for? It's like I'm asking, is turning my wheel to the left is more proper? Well, at first I need to know. The person who I asked need to know, am I turning the car left or right? Right? I cannot say, well, I'm going to turn my steering wheel to the left is more proper. Because turn left or right all have is meaning, or it is purpose. So you cannot jump on that. Okay. So again, until you know your body and the momentum you want to generate, you really can't say, what to do with the pivoting. Left Kung Fu Shaolin, grow physically, mentally, and spiritually. This is left Kung Fu, just to give you a straight talk. This is just a very empty words, which you can hear in the marketing of this past 100 years in Chinese Kung Fu. The first one, what is grow physically? What does it mean? What is the result you expect? The second, what is mentally? The third, what is spiritually? That's why I always challenge people. Until you be able to go do nurture chi, do we know our very, very basic of handling our physiological body, our physiological state? Until one be able to handle the nurture chi, do we know what is the quiet down of the mind and losing down of the body? We don't even want to talk about spiritual, okay? Not there yet, just very basic. The answer is we don't know. And also, if you be able to do nurture chi as I show it here, you need to be able to measure it, verify it scientifically. Until this can be done, there is no nurture, there's no handling of the mental and physical. Don't kid ourselves. And talking about spiritual is just like talking magic, empty. So left Kung Fu, I'm not picking at you. I'm just saying that if you really like to develop Kung Fu, that's how it has to be in the ancient way. And in this channel, we only go for what is the reality which can get result, which is the teaching of the ancient. We are not giving like my 5 cents, your 5 cents. Of course, everybody is free to express their ideas and so forth, discuss. But the bottom line is every words we say have a responsibility there. So we don't mislead people. So Chris here, to know how to drop the thinking, who knew it could actually be done? But one can know unless we know the natural resonance. This is a lifesaver. Chris, all those stuff of human body, physiological states, is beyond our thinking. Our thinking can think about it only after we experience it. It's just like, for example, you get a romance with a girl or a guy, when we are young in the high school. Until you have a girlfriend, you don't know the what exactly it is going out with the girl, right? We can read comics, we can read fictions, we can watch movie, but if we never go out with the cheerleaders, like in our high school, have a date, we don't know what date is. So that is the same thing. And today's problem in Chinese martial art is everybody thinking that you have this philosophy, the ancient Chinese philosophy and all those things. Same with the Buddhism, all this nonsense, okay, which is living in their mind, like reading a comic book or fiction or watching a movie. They thought that is a reality. There's Buddhism, there's Kung Fu, and it turns out that it is not. So Chris, yes, if you don't have the basic training of the body, you cannot do it. And also, basic training of the body, you need to be able to verify with scientific tools. Okay. So that's why those who train with me, if anybody say that they be able to do nurture chi, I ask him how much your heartbeat can drop within 3 minutes of your nurture chi. I ask them. And everybody be able to tell you, oh, it's a good day this way, it's a bad day this way. So it is using science as a standard, not just because of this guy who is closer to me and so forth. No, nothing to do with that. It's just like scientifically verified it. Otherwise, don't trust anybody. Live Kung Fu. Ip Chun spoke about how Wing Chun could help heal the world. Wing Chun empower people, allow them to have their own thought. The government doesn't like that. Maybe why the negative attention? Live Kung Fu. Number one, in this channel, I don't comment on people. I only talk about evidence in history and science verifications. Okay. So anybody who in this channel, we need to know that do not bring any names out there for their opinion and so forth, because it's not fair thing too. If I say that this guy is saying this, is it saying that, or I'm just making up? I don't know, or I present it. So just now, as I show you, like I'm talking about this Sifu Cham Gam Fai, I show you his writing, his picture and everything, right? So I am presenting the evidence there. And I am not presenting, oh no, this Sifu say this and that and that and that. And like Grandmaster Chang Gan Fai, you see that he give example. I need a standard, I need this and that. It's like very technical details, okay? So hope that this clear up thing. Dick saying that, so in general, Qi Ji Guang manual, they are both long fist art mixed to assure the goal to kick out Japanese pirate. Do you know when it start to become separate art? Okay. The book 1560 Kung Fu 1560, you can see that it is not General Qi Ji Guang. The long fish short strike is being long there. Okay, and there are many things there. So there is a lot of things there. which we don't know today if we don't study the classic. As for when it gets start to become separate art, well, it gets separated when a guy who have no complete understanding on the martial arts start to teach. When a guy not fully study the martial art start to teach, that is the time for the entire thing break down. And today you can see that everybody say this is my Sifu say, this is my style, this is my lineage. That's why I pull out General Qi Ji Guang 1560 and all other generals in the book 1560s Kung Fu. You can see other generals there. Okay, they're talking about the same thing. So there's no my Sifu said, my lineage said, my style said. It's based on a black and white writing. So it is like 50 years later after Hendrik died, okay? And people talk about this nurture Qi. Well, you can pull out the Wing Chun inception and pull out the heart rate variability measurement and heart rate measurement. You say Hendrik said that you need to measure with your heart rate, monitor with heart rate and heart rate variability, or else you don't know. So that is the thing. So who screw all this up? People who never really train it and just create all kinds of stuff. Now, there's not wrong to evolve things. Like General Qi Ji Guang, he evolved it too. Okay, so it's in the book 1560, Kung Fu 1560. He evolved things from General Tang Sun Zhi. He evolved it and he said that, oh, this is... So we know in the history he evolved that. People write down that. But he is not creating out from the blue where he don't know. So to create something out from the blue where he don't know is a very different thing as like, okay, I get this Chinese knife. This is Japanese pirate's knife techniques. So in order to counter this Japanese pirate technique, I have to evolve the Chinese sword techniques. So this is how it happened. It's very different. Okay, hope that this answer your questions, Dick. And of course, today, how many people really be able to comprehend what is in the writing, the chapter of Qi Ji Guang? You look around for past 30 years in the publication, I never see one in the Western or in English which present what General Qi Ji Guang is presenting. Life Kung Fu say Wing Chun teaches us how to tame our ego, to learn we are our own worst enemy. We face with our emotion a daily basis. This will be spiritual goal. Can you please, Life Kung Fu, this is like a movie advertisement. Can you share with me the reality instead of telling me all your opinion? Life Kung Fu, please do not continue on. Is on the video of 84 years old Wing Chun master and so forth, so forth. As I already shared with you in this channel, in the Q&A today, and all my channel and all my books, we talk about evidence and scientific verifications. And if you don't have that, please do not bring it up, because that is only disrupting other friends here. I hope that you can understand this, okay? Everywhere we need a rules. Lawrence, do you know who was it that changed the long set into the three hand form? Lawrence, I don't know. I don't know about that. And really, this one, I don't want to speculate into it. Okay, and as what I have shared with you, I don't want anything to do with the 1960s Wing Chun. I'm only focused on the 1850s Wing Chun. Yeah, you know, the book might come 2-3 weeks, and hopefully it let you see what is going on. Left Kung Fu, understood. But again, as what I said, be specific here. We only speak on things with evidence and science and things we experience. Okay, that's a better thing. Chris, thank you everything for you share always. You're welcome. This education, we all need it. There's no point for us to screw each other, and no point to, as that Zen teaching, the ignorance teaching the ignorance. One is the teacher, but both is clueless. The teacher go to hell, where the student will end up. Left Kung Fu, what is the evidence? What evidence do you have? Do you have historical writing? Do you have scientific evidence? If you can present it. If you don't have those evidence, please do not speculate here. Because over here, we want to get things black and white. There's no gray area here. Whether we know, we don't know. Can it be proved with scientific? Does it have historical evidence? That is the bottom line. It's not like Hendrik say this guy say that guy say that grandmaster say that. Those are speculation. Those are not belongs to this channel. Anybody have any other questions? Yeah, I like to share that I'm really strict here because there's no room, at least in this channel, for presenting the culture and the educations in the gray area. If I know, I tell you I know. If I don't, I tell you I don't. If I can do it, I tell you I can do it. And if I can do it, I'll tell you that this is how you be able to verify scientifically. So there is no gray area, okay? Joe Selman, do we have evidence about why was Wing Chun named that way? The fantasy about its origin is problematic. Wing Chun ECT. Joe, until today, we don't have the evidence on why Wing Chun is named that way. However, that is a tendency that we know what it is. So, in year 2000, I went to Shanghai. And Shanghai, there's a place where it's called Yuyuan, a garden where they have this the anti-Qing uprising. Okay, so these people who uprise against Qing and the Red Boat Opera, the Wing Chun ancestor, historically, we know that they are linked together. And in Shanghai, this garden that is a state is called the Hall of Pointing to the Spring. The Hall Pointing to the Spring, 点春堂. And somehow I end up there. I don't know why. So the what do you call it? The tour guide told me, Chun at the time of the anti-Qing, Chun, or before that time, is mean opera. Tian Chun, pointing at the spring, meaning that selecting which movie or which play you want to play. Tian Chun Tang. Okay. So we know Chun is opera or the play. Okay. Now, on the other side in Canton, okay, so these people in Shanghai, actually, they are related in, okay, that I wrote an article before about in 2000 on those things. Historically, they are related together, okay. Now, so we know at that time, Chun, Wing Chun, Chun is opera, okay, and so in Shanghai, it's named opera. In the Canton, it is opera because at that time and before that, opera is named as spring. Now, in that Shanghai pointing at the spring hall, opposed to it, I have found the writing like Hong Ying. In Cantonese, Hong Ying, that is the code name of the anti-Qing. Hong Ying is the reverse of hero, Ying Hong. If you look at like Choi Lei Fat, who is in anti-Qing, the Choi Lei Fats their what they call it, their poem, they always have this Ying Hong. You look at Wing Chun 1850s, the Xiu Lim Tao Kit, the last one, the salutation, is always saying Ying Hong. So it's Hong Ying, Ying Hong. All these things, they are linked together. They are belong to the anti-Qing group. Okay? That's what we know. So if we look into the Chinese culture, the most logical meaning of Wing Chun, okay, the most logical by the Chinese language evidence, the most logical is Wing Chun Kun. It just simply means that the martial art of the people who sing opera. That's all. And the rest of all those other things, stories, who knows where it come from, but in the Chinese culture, their language, the history event. Now here you have this the little knife, Xiao Dao Hui in Shanghai, who's anti-Qing. You have Chai Lei Fat, you have Wing Chun there in the same fine jet. What it come to conclusion is Wing Chun simply mean, if it is according to the Chinese language, the art of the martial art of those who sing the opera, meaning the opera actor. Okay. So Wing Chun is just the opera actor's martial arts. That's what I see until up to now, for after 40-something years, and heavens will let me check into all this history that make more sense, because it's based on the historical evidence and the words, the ancient Chinese words. So hopefully this helps. Chris, does General Qi ever talk about condition like iron fist? There is no record in General Qi writing talk about condition like iron fist. At least I have never seen it. But it does have the conditions of one's body. In today's language is the neuromuscular, the cardiovascular and muscle endurance, and it has its way. So it is in my book, the Kung Fu 1560s. It is a clear writing on his shoulder. His soldiers or his army need to train in today's language the cardiovascular endurance and muscular endurance. So it's like really like today, okay? TP, what do you think of Yi Jing? Well, Yi Jing is symbolically describing change. Yi Jing is symbolic describing changes. Using binary, yin and yang is just binary 0 and 1. So using Yi Jing is just like you study Yi Jing so you can see the pattern of change. That's all. So there's what? A sarcastic, should say sarcastic story. The Chinese scholar years ago told me, he said, Hendrik, you know, Chinese people studying Yi Jing, you see all this thousands of years, Chinese people studying Yi Jing, the yin and yang, okay, there's like yin and yang and everything. And you know what they end up? They end up to be fortune tellers. They end up to be feng shui guy, and who knows whether what they talk is proper or not. But the Westerner, when they take this Yi Jing, the 0 and 1, they change the transform, or they how to say that, interpret the yin and yang into 0 and 1. They create computer and they create a completely different world. So he asked me, he said, do you think that the Chinese is more have the wisdom, or the Westerner have more understanding on the Chinese Yi Jing? So this is one of the old Chinese scholar who told me. So in other words, hey, you Chinese study all this Yi Jing for what? Fortune telling and keeping repeat whatever like a parrots. But the Westerner take the Yi Jing idea of the change and the 0 and 1, which is the yin and yang. They create a computer and then the digital system, and then they completely change the world. So that's what it is. So in fact, I understand what he's talking about. He's talking about people who really don't use their brain to really understand what is the ancient ancestor is teaching. They took whatever they read in the ancient is as wisdom, and they don't even know what it is. Okay, so hope that this answer your question on Yi Jing. So Joe, hope that this answer your questions. Chris, hope that I answer your questions. And again, over here, there's no style, no lineage. There's only Chinese culture, and that is the educations. Okay, we have the basing on scientific and basing on the historic evidence. So hopefully everybody be able to get result from what everybody learned. That's the notion. So in this channel, there's no grandmaster this or grandmaster that. The reason I'm using the General Qi Guang name is because It is his work. It is a piece of history evidence, and he get result. So anybody have any questions? If not, I'm going to close it for today. So again, I'm here. I'm like a really strict on thing. Not that I like to pick on everybody. There's a responsibility. We don't want to screw other people. We don't want to screw our friend left and right. If we know, we know. If we don't know, we don't know. If we want to be good in Kung Fu, then we need to have sharp mind. Like the CEO case where the CEO asked me, Hendrik, is that route get to our office, or it is you think so, you believe so? If it's you think so, you believe so, go find out and then tell me the exact way. Otherwise, you're going to screw the entire division. Okay? JJ, thanks. You know, so martial art, you study martial art, you invest on it. You invest your money, your time. Martial art is not a cult. Martial art is not something like selling religion stuff. So that is the bottom line. It's time for everybody to benefit from it. Bill saying that please make a video about the origin of Wing Chun and not the fantasy they sell. Thank you. I actually have made a few videos in this channel based on evidence. I share with you like years ago, there are things people say Wing Chun is Wang Chun and all those crazy stuff. I lined out the date, the time, the year of this Wing Chun and Wing Chun stuff to share. A lot of things is nonsense. So I went to China. I went to Fatsan. I talked to the what do you call it? I have discussions with the researcher in Fatsan. What today we can know is, yes, Wing Chun have relationship with Chile Fat in the anti-Qing uprising of Taiping. In the Fine Jet Association, Fine Jet Associations is the headquarters of the Red Boat Opera. Yes, we have that. Because we have salutations and all this. This is all the so-called the anti-Qing society code password. Wing Chun have it. But after the 1860s, when the uprising is lost, people don't bring it out anymore. And of course, after that, all kind of things happen with Wing Chun. See, the Chile Fat people never change. They did not change. They anti-Qing and they never take opium. And you can look at the entire history, and they participate in the fighting, overturn the Qing. The Japanese war continues on until today. Wing Chun, certain people changes. They no longer walk the path of the ancestor who anti-Qing. They don't. And so Wing Chun somehow have friction with Chile Fat. So from 1850 to 1900, you see that if you go research into the Wing Chun history, it is a black area. Nobody mentioned anything. Okay. So there is a 50 years from 50 years from like 1850s, mid 1850s to 1900. The history is really gray. Okay. People don't talk much because there are many things there in China. So actually, Wing Chun and the Caliphate, after the uprising of the anti-Qing, after the Wing Chun ancestor lost the war, they are not together anymore. So when I was in Fatsan, there's one person who studied the history. He asked me, so what Wing Chun is so good about? Besides now people make Yip Man movie and so-called so forth, or Wing Chun movie, what is so good about? What does it do for the people of Canton? This is a scholar of the history in China. So I show him the salutation. I said, this is what we have when we again Qing for the people of Canton. And after that, he said, oh, is that true? I said, yes. My ancestor living in the Fine Jade Association, I said, that's the only place I want to go to pay respect. Because everybody know that the Fine Jade headquarters at that time is like the anti-Qing headquarters. So in Fine Jade, you have Caliphate brothers, you have Wing Chun brothers, you have different other martial art brothers. They are located in the Fine Jade associations. Those are fighting for the people. And of course, they lost. So, you know, there's the tragedy, there's the sadness, right? Daniel, you're welcome. Chris, I spent since 1973 until today. Just not to boast, but based on facts. There's a lot of document I have gone through. A lot of people I have go through. A lot of things I have verified. If I can, I would like to share with everybody, because I will love that every Wing Chuners today better than me. Better than me. If we don't have people better than me, there's no future. Bill, those exclusive about the origin is in this book. Let me tell you why. Why I don't go to those story or the speculations. Even just now we talk about the origin of Wing Chun. I tell you, based on the Chinese language, this is what Wing Chun might be and everything. Because I'm not sure either. I know Chinese language is like that, but there's still a gray area that anybody can argue. There's a room for argue. In this book, based on the 1850s Xiu Lim Tao creed or writing, nobody ever be able to argue. This is 100%. Okay? This is history. And when this can link up to Shaolin Sword Strike and General Qi Ji Guang, the entire Ming military, you know it is solid. That is the technical history. That is more important than other history, because like it or not, Wing Chun's tomorrow is based on technical base. It's not based on my view on history or your view of history or whose view on history. History is nice, but there's past. Technical is what is the thing which is going to be able to help us to build the future. If we do not know, like for example, you talk about the history, the Ngmoi and everything, right? And today everybody talk about this Tai Chi, internal Wing Chun and everything, right? Let me ask you questions. Everybody can talk about all those things, but how come nobody be able to distinguish between Shaolin Wang Chun of Hong Kong and Wing Chun? Everybody have their reason, and you are in gray when you try to debate or you try to argue. But with this, you know 100% Wing Chun is never Shaolin Wang Chun of Hong Kong. Period. That is how you want to get into technical things so that everybody can get benefit from it. Bill, the 1850s Shu Lim Tao form, you need all this thing. Okay? The reason I make all this thing is so that to make it easy for people to study the 1850s form later. There are many in this forum today and many around the world who study the 1850s Shu Lim Tao with me. If they do not know this, to the minimum, they have no idea of the sixth element, they will not be able to know what is the 1850 Shu Lim Tao form talking about. If they do not know the breathing and the nurture chi and the momentum, they will not be able to execute what is within the 1850 Shu Lim Tao form. That's the bottom line. So we cannot kidding other people. We cannot lie. Anybody want to develop the 1850 Shu Lim Tao form, they need to have this. They must have this. And today is people who have those type of level of education. Yes, in Europe you have this kinds of educations. In fact, Europeans have more the full educations than Asia. Okay, in America, of course, you have some. In Europe, have more. Why? Because the European is more, how to say that, more diligent in learning. They really take things seriously. But is that simple? Of course it's not. If you ask those people who work with me, how many times they get screamed by me? Redo homework, redo homework. Your homework need to be redo. Just ask around. So it is actually like you go to the college, you go to a class. When you go to a class, you expect to learn this thing, and you have to have the prerequisites. And the professor is not going to let you pass until you really get it. Okay? So that is how it is. So this is the bottom line. Otherwise, the set itself is nothing. I can tell you another records. You can put in records. At year 2000, somebody in Asia, because I know that they no longer have this 1850 sets. They lost it. So I went back there and teach him. And in the middle, I'm teaching him, I show him my video and the mimic and so forth. Start to bad-mouthing my teacher. Start to act like grandmaster. And start to change the set. Without even knowing the sixth core element and everything. So I pull the plug. So Asia doesn't have it anymore. I can tell you flat from that. It's not that I want to be grandmaster or I'm in control or I'm the authority, the only guy. No. We do think we need to do it properly. What is the point to screw other people and making all the thing just to make ourselves famous? And if we cannot deliver, what good is that? It's better to say, you know, this is Chinese culture, Confucian's teaching. If I don't know, I say I don't know. That means I know. That is the teaching. If I don't know, I say I don't know. There's no. Because we want to learn, okay? Only by learning, we can improve ourselves. Of course, I am not perfect. You are not perfect. Nobody is perfect. However, if we want to learn, then for sure there will be somebody who can teach us. JJ, yeah, we need the like in the university, right? We all go to high school, we all go to college. We like to be like that, okay? Not all those kind of magic stuff. So everybody go to high school or the 2-year college, everybody get benefit. So the first thing, the first benefit we can see is that anybody graduate from the 2-year college have a better life for the most, right? So education is important. Carsten, our biggest problem is if we believe we are right or try to forward what we believe is right when or if we are not right. Well, Carsten, that's why we need to speak with historical evidence and scientific verifications. Like, again, like in the college, we are not talking nonsense. Like, for example, if we got a degree in engineering or get a master or PhD in the engineering or in a medical doctor, we have to be really careful for what we are talking, right? Only that way, that type of level can help Wing Chun to be respected by the mainstream. When we go to talk to somebody, you say, you introduce yourself, I'm Sifu of Wing Chun Kung Fu. And if we talk like MD, a professional, people respect us. If we talk nonsense, starting he say, me say, this and this, all the surface empty words. And when people ask you scientifically what it is, evidence, what it is, we don't know. Then nobody's going to respect us. And they end up, we're going to screw everybody. I know in this world, there are many people, at least, especially in the West, that they like to make like study Wing Chun their professional. Well, they spend a lot of time on that. So why don't we make them as respected as an engineer, a lawyer, or a medical doctor? They have their field of specialty. That is what I'm heading toward. You want people to respect your people. You want the people to respect the professional, right? Like even you see there are many sports, what do you call it? Sport coach. They are respected because they're professional. They are not talking nonsense. You look at old boxing coach. They are professional. Boxing coach, Western boxing coach, yes. I have met a few. Really professional. So unless we have that quality, nobody's going to respect us. And everything's going to down to the tube. You know, nobody at that level is going to ask for you are the supreme ultimate fighter in the world. People respect you because you speak with evidence, you speak with scientific verifications, and you speak honestly, and you speak with a scholar mentality and willing to learn. Like in the Silicon Valley, like there's so many good people here. If you talk really straight, reasonable, rational, objective, and willing to learn, willing to admit mistake, people like to deal with you. And the more we deal with the professional, the more your level get up. There is professional. Custom, we are not seeking truth in the old book. We know what it is. We can verify scientifically. So it's not philosophical talk, okay? Like, for example, you have your opinion here, but you are based on your thinking. You are not based on reality. By reality, I mean, like, for example, over here, you go into the sports science and verify your internal art. And also, over here, you can verify your training with today's sports science equipment. So this is not a philosophy, this is technology. So one can pinpoint to others what it is, and the other be able to repeat it. Okay? So what you present here, Custom, is still philosophical speculation, because it is like I'm saying that, the engineering has to be this way, that way, that way. We have not this yet, not that yet. But that is very different than you're in Silicon Valley. Well, you say, well, I designed this. I have this much patent granted to me. Those are the different grade of the thing. Okay? Those are professional. Those are not other stuff. Bill, it is not to study from this book. It is to study the process. The process to get the result, which is now presented in the book. It's not about study this book. This book is just like the other book. What important is the process to get result, and the process after you get result be able to be verified scientifically. That is the bottom line. Until we can do that, we have nothing on our hand. Okay. So say, for example, you say this like the nurture chi in here. Okay, so like the Custom say that seek truth from the old books. There's no seek truth on the old books. In this book, you can see that the practice of the Buddhists, the Taoists, the Confucian, all have a common denominator. Okay, and this common denominator have a process, and you practice with the process, and you get the result, and this result can be verified with scientific, like sports science today, like heart rate and heart rate variability. That's why we know exactly what it is. It's not speculation. So it's not about seeking for truth, those kinds of a philosophical thing. So Chris say here, many hide from technology to hide from the truth. Technology can tell you force output and power and proper biomechanics that answer many questions used in professional sports science today. Chris, yes, it has to be able to verify with sports science. So from ancient, like again, the analogy here, the teaching of the Anapanasati, the Chinese, the Taoist teaching, the Confucius teaching, the Chinese medicine teaching, they have a common denominator, and they have the common denominator process. That process, you practice it, you get the result, and you can see and be able to verify it with the sports science. Only that way we verify that thing is proper. So from the ancient one side, from sports science another side, you get the result. Without that, we don't know what it is. Carson is not analyze the old book. It is not analyze the old book. You analyze the old book without knowing it. It's very simple. It's like today's, you look at the General Qi Ji Guang chapter 14 in the entire Western world in English, whether in the website or in the publication, they all analyze. They have their 5 cents on analyzing that. But they still don't know. Why? It's because they don't know what it is. You need to have the common denominator. Okay, it's not analyzed. You have to find all data and see the common denominator. And that common denominator is the reality. Otherwise, it's just a mental speculations. So I hope that you see what I'm talking about. Like again, like in this book, the common denominator of the Buddhist Anapanasati, the Taoist teaching in meditations, and in the Yarrow and Polar classics. As soon as it is human, the common denominator is the same. Okay, as soon as it's human, it has to be the same. Disregard it's Chinese, it is Indonesian, it is Mexican, it is German, it's American. All has to be the same because it is human. So you use science to verify that, verify the ancient teaching, not using opinion or reason or logic. Hope that this is clear. And cousin, one other thing too. How, when people talk about desire, like our desire to think we know what we think we know, well, that is why one need to really practice the Buddhist meditations. If you're trapping in the thinking world, you do not know the awareness world. You never get into the awareness world. You will never know why thinking is actually a trap. So Carlson say, I'm with you all the way in gravity, sports science, ECT. But the guy with the raised hand direct in the air, he had momentum from keying his center line and gravity at total control. Let's not get into argument for argument's sake, okay? Like all the center line and all those stuff, like let's put things in perspective to solve one to each other, not get into the generalizations. What the question you ask me here or you share here is getting into generalizations, and that is really trouble. It's like in the ancient Chinese, they can prove the white horse is not horse. Okay, we don't want to get that. That's why I say that, okay, you want to say that your Wing Chun stand, e.g. Kam Yong Ma, is good, go do a vertical jump. Can you handle the impact when you're going down? Can you launch it up? That's simple. And if you need it, you can use the watch to check how high you can go and the impact of your body, your kinetic energy, and so forth. We have instrument for that. And so those who think they have mastered the thing, just go jump and look at the data of the sports science data. There's no argument there. So if there's no more question, then see you guys next time. Okay, so we can discuss here, have fun here. provided everybody is learning. And custom, I won't get into raised hand for momentum. Okay, I won't get into anything which is can be gray area, can be argued, because the idea is to solve problem. The idea is not to have all type of unending problem. So why do you need to know about momentum? The momentum is the speed and your mass. Okay, and the best thing is to just you jump down from a chair. Okay, when you say about raising hand and everything, there are many things. Okay, so it's not as what do you call it, the quote unquote pure. Then you just jump down from a chair. Like I put it in the Wing Chun matrix. With all the physics equations, so there's no argument, okay? The rest, it is not solving problem, but create problem. Human physiology is one thing, momentum is one thing. That's why you have 6 core elements: your physical body, your mind, your breathing, your chi flow, yes, your energy flow, your strength, and your momentum. They are different things. You don't want to lump them together. If you lump them together, you don't know the 6 core elements, each of them by each element, then is another gray area, because it stirs the entire thing up. Like today, people talk about qi is strength, strength is qi, qi is jing, mind power. What is that? But anybody who knows the 6 core elements say, hey, this is mind. This is not mind power like the strength. Strength is strength. So that is the thing. Okay, we want to make things clear for everybody, not to confuse everybody. So okay, talk to you guys next week. See you guys. Bye bye.